Hi, this is Russell Stannard from teachertrainingvideos.com. Today's topic is using Moodle to deliver a flipped classroom mode of learning. So it can be any topic that you're planning on teaching. I'm going to take you step by step through how to create a course that's using really the flipped classroom as the mode of delivery. Now this is the second part of the course, and the first part, if you haven't watched it and you want to watch it, you can click on the link in the description below, and I've also put a link onto the screen now that you can access. In this second part we're going to continue what we were doing in the first part, but in the second part we're going to create our own video. So we're not embedding video from YouTube. I'm actually going to show you how to make your own videos and then add those into Moodle. But what's more, I'm then going to show you how to add activities so that when the students go home and they watch the video, they've got some activities to do to check their understanding. And I'm going to make the activities a little bit more interesting. We're going to have a chat, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use a Google Doc, which we can link to Moodle as a way of doing a collaborative activity all together, and that can be the basis then for an activity that we're going to do in the classroom. So I'm really trying to take the level up a little bit now and get you starting to think about what types of activities you're going to get your students to do at home, which you can then link to in the class. Right, better not talk anymore. Let's get straight into it. As always, if you like the video, please like it. Please share it with other teachers. Any comments or questions, please leave them. And importantly, please follow my channel. Let's get started. So this is a super quick reminder. Basic idea is students are going to watch a video and then they're going to do a series of activities, and I've got a unit 1 like that, and then a unit 2 like that, and then a unit 3 like that. So we can do this as a way of organizing the content. Now what about if we don't want to upload a video or link to a video from YouTube, but we want to create our own video and put it into Moodle? How can we do that? What technologies can we use? Let's have a quick look at that. So let's imagine that we want to record ourselves giving a lecture, and then we want to put that lecture into Moodle. Now this is just one possibility. There's loads of content that we could create. So I've got here a PowerPoint slide, which is basically a little bit of the PowerPoint slide that I've been using with you. Let's imagine I wanted to record myself delivering this PowerPoint slide. How would I do it? And then how would I put that into Moodle? So I'm going to quickly open up a technology called Snagit. It's the technology that I use the most for doing this sort of thing. It's a screen capture technology. That is, it's a technology that allows me to mark the area around a PowerPoint slide, click on a button and record myself talking, and it will record it all. So that's actually what I'm doing at the moment with you guys to make this video. So I'm actually going to be doing a screen capture of a screen capture now. So we're going to click on a capture button there, and the tool that we're going to use, as I said, is called Snagit, and it comes onto the screen. I'm going to minimize that there, and what we would do is click on video, and we need to mark the area around the video, and then we can start to record ourselves. And it's literally going to turn this PowerPoint presentation into a video where we can talk over it and go through the slides. Now one thing I will need to do while I do this is turn off my camera, so I'm just going to do that. Now I'm just simply going to click on video, click on capture, and I'm going to mark the area around the PowerPoint slide. I don't have to go full screen. There it is on the screen, as you can see. Then I can click on this button here and begin to record myself. Now one interesting thing that I can do as well is I can click on this button, and if you've got your webcam connected, which I have, I can actually come on the screen first of all and make a video. Let's give you a quick example. Welcome to this lecture on the flipped classroom. I'm going to quickly talk about the theory of the flipped classroom and what that means for teaching and learning. Click on the pause button, and I can click and come over now to the actual PowerPoint presentation, carry on the recording. So I just carry on here. So what we're going to look at today is the flipped classroom. And I might jump to the next slide. Again, I've just clicked on the pause button to stop, click on the next slide and carry on. When we look at the flipped classroom, we're normally talking about what we call lower order thinking skills and higher order thinking skills. Blah, 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 blah. Again, then come on to the next slide, and we can just carry on literally recording ourselves doing a PowerPoint presentation. When we finish, we just click on this button here. That video is immediately ready. Notice it starts with me on the screen, and then afterwards, it will then come through to the actual PowerPoint slides, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so super easy to create your own learning content. It's one of the things that I find when I'm running my own flipped classroom courses, that teachers just simply don't realize. They always think that they need to find the content from YouTube or from other video sources. In fact, you can create your own content really, really quickly. And if I actually come over to here and click on File, Save As, and I'm going to save this on the desktop, and I'm going to call this Video Flipped Moodle, just to show you how easy this is to do. Click on Save. Now I'm going to actually embed that video straight into the Moodle course that we've been creating. Obviously we're going to do that in Unit 2. So remember we've already saved this video. You can obviously play it back. Welcome to this lecture on the one little thing I better point out as well is that you can actually delete little parts of it. So if you've got a little part that you want to delete, you can kind of grab that and cut little bits out, which is quite useful as well. If we jump now back to the Moodle course, what we want to do now is add a video in here to topic 2. Remember, we've already done topic 1, so we're going to turn the editing on the top of the page, come down, and what we're going to do is click on edit. So we're going to put this video, click on, and I'm going to put the video in straight away. Afterwards I'll add in the headers and the text, etc. But I just want to show you how easy this is to do. And I'm going to click on Insert Moodle Media. I'm going to click on Upload. I'm going to go to Upload File. Click on Choose File. I'm going to go to my desktop. I can already see it there, Video Flipped Moodle. Click on that. Click on Open. And just have to wait. Click on Upload button. It's going to take a few seconds. There we are. That was pretty quick. Click on Insert. And now we've got the video in the screen. Don't worry that it doesn't show there. As soon as you click on Save Changes, it will actually appear. We've now got our own video on our Moodle course, one that we've created that's got a PowerPoint presentation. And of course I could have been talking over anything. It didn't have to be me necessarily talking over a PowerPoint slide. I could have been talking over a diagram or some pictures or showing people a website or whatever. And this video includes a little intro. Welcome to this lecture on the Flipped Classroom. And then after the intro, if we go through, then it comes into the actual presentation. So really easy using technology like Snagit, and these are what we call screen capture technologies. Now I am a big fan of Snagit. I've been using screen capture for 12-13 years now. The tool that I like the best to use is Snagit and Moodle. Snagit and Camtasia. When I'm actually creating this course for you guys, I'm actually using Camtasia, but often I use Snagit, particularly when I'm making videos that I'm going to put into my Moodle course. Now one thing we need to do with this Unit 2 is tidy it up, because Unit 1 looks much nicer than Unit 2, and we want Unit 2 and Unit 1 to be almost the same. And what I'm going to do then is just simply click on Edit. I can do this fairly quickly actually. Just click on Edit and come to, first of all, we want to come to the top of the screen. I'm going to add that same banner in that I put into first unit. So click on Upload Image, choose Image. Remember we can click on Recent Files and find that banner there. Select it, click on Insert. Ignore that's just simply because I didn't put a description. I'm just doing this too quickly. And then click on Save Changes. Remember, if you select it as well, you can click on this button here and kind of put it into the middle. It might be nicer that way. So already now we've got our little title. As you can see, we still need to do a little bit more work on this. If you look at the one that we did for the first unit, we've got this title here, and then we've got a kind of line underneath. So we're going to do the same for the second one. So we're going to click again under here, edit one more time, come back into it. We want to go underneath the image. Okay, and we're going to write Unit 2, Theory of Flipped Learning. Okay, and remember what we want to try and do here is to put the correct heading. In this case, it's going to be this one here. No, it's going to be this one here, isn't it? It's going to be, that's the main one. And then we're going to come down and write course, or Unit 2 course content, Unit 2 course content. And it was again a video. Would be a good idea to put a little description here underneath. We're just going to mark that out, and then again trying to be consistent. So we're going to use header 3 for the kind of sub menu items or the subtitle items. And already it starts to look a little bit like the unit above that we'd created. Again, come back, and I'm just doing this really slowly just to make it really clear what I'm doing. I would again do exactly what I did before and do that line. Okay, I know this isn't perfect. Obviously, if I have more time, generally I'm making the assets look nicer, getting nice size content, etc. But you get the idea. Now, what we want to do finally for this second unit is add in some activity types. Now, last time we looked at the forum. What other activity types are there on offer in Moodle? And there's quite a lot of. So what activity types can we create? Well, if we click here, we do have a whole host of activity types that we can use. I have, for example, videos on working with quizzes. You'll find them on my website, and I'll point them out right at the end of the course. We've got also options of things like having a chat or giving an assignment for the students to do that perhaps they're going to hand in after they've watched the video at home. They do an assignment, questionnaires, all sorts of things that you can do. So we're going to look at a couple of these. I'm going to just show you a couple of them. First one I'm going to show you is we could have a chat. Okay, so one thing normally if you're going to do the chat as part of the flipped classroom, it would be a good idea to have everyone coming on at the same time so that you can do the chat. So that would really make sense if you were going to do that. Chats work really well, so let's just take you through the chat. You need to just click on chat and click on add, and straight away give your a name. So we're going to call this Unit 2 Chat Room. Okay, and then we need to write a quick description and click on, say, this is the chat room for Unit 2. After watching the video, click on the chat room. And normally we put a time. So this is a kind of flipped classroom format, but the idea is now that the students are all either going to meet up online in the chat, or even the teacher could be involved in it. Let's say, for example, 8 p.m. Tuesday evening. Okay, and we might put a proper date as well. Let's say October 25th. So the students know exactly what time they've got to be on, etc. Make sure you add that to description. That means that that description that you've got there will be on the opening page. Okay, we're going to click on save and display. In fact, let's click on save and return to course now, and we're just going to see what that looks like. So now we've got this second unit. Okay, we've got the video, and we've now got our chat room. So what would happen to the students if they then, obviously on a Tuesday evening, October the 25th, would go on to the chat room after watching the video and then have a discussion? So let's just have a quick look at what that would be like as an experience for the students. So I'm going to turn the editing off so you kind of see what it looks like. So we've got this course now, we've got Unit 1, we've got Unit 2, okay, and we've now got our chat room that we, after watching this video, we're meant to go onto. Click on there and click here to enter the chat room, and opens up the chat room, and straight away we can start to work. So if I just make this window a bit better so you can see how it works, I'm going to say hello. And when I type something, the chat room looks really nicely in Moodle. It's going to come onto the screen, and of course all the other people that were in the chat room would be able to appear here, and then the discussion would take place. Now it's quite likely in a flipped classroom context, if you were going to do that, you would give the students specific questions to discuss in the chat room, and perhaps even the teacher would be there in the chat room to be engaged in those discussions. But you can see how easy it is to create a chat room and have that as part of a flipped classroom delivery. Now often when you're working with Moodle, you're going to simply be using the resources and the activities that are available within the system. So you're going to click here and you're going to choose a chat or a choice or a community wall. Your activities that you will have available will depend on your version of Moodle, and obviously different organizations have different things available. But another option as well is to link to something external, for example like a Padlet or like a Google Doc, and I'm going to take you through that because I do that quite a lot. So what I'm going to do for this particular activity, we need to just very quickly create that. I'm actually going to create a Google Doc that then students can click on and then add their ideas into the document, and I'm going to give you a few tips on actually doing that. So I'm on my Google account. I'm going to click here and I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and I'm actually going to create a Google Doc which is going to be like for a discussion. So I'm going to come down to New, and then I'm going to click on Google Docs, and I'm going to call this one Flipped Classroom Discussion. Flipped Classroom Document, we'll call it actually. And what I'm going to do to make this easier is I'm going to put write 5 ideas that you have learnt from the video on the flipped classroom. Okay, now this is a really nice tip, and it's something I do all the time. Let's imagine that this flipped classroom course has got 5 students. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a table with 5 columns, okay, and I'm going to move that across there. In fact, that'll do. Yeah, in fact, maybe let's insert another one. Let's insert one row below, one more row. So we're going to put the name here, and then we're going to put what do you have to say here. And then I'm going to put the names of the students. So let's put, it's maybe Tom and Maria and Peter and Jenny and Sarah. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this share button. Sometimes I actually make it a bit bigger, each one, so they've got plenty of space to write their answer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the share button here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Get Shareable Link. And it's going to create a link for me. And I'm going to allow the people that have access to this link, they can edit the document. Okay? And then I'm going to copy link. Click on Done. Now I'm going to come back to the Moodle course. And in this Moodle course, we're going to add an activity type. And this time we're actually going to add, down here in the resources, we're going to add a URL. Click on Add. And all I need to do is give that URL a name. So I'm going to call this Moodle document, oh sorry, not Moodle, sorry, Google Doc on flipped classroom. I'm going to show you exactly how this is going to work afterwards so you can really understand exactly what's going to be. And then I'm going to just paste that long link in. Simple as that. Okay, I can give this doc a description. So I'm going to say something like, write your ideas about about the flipped classroom in this document. Now you'll see in a minute why I'm doing this, so you'll understand how this links very tightly to a kind of flipped classroom scenario. Actually, I forgot, if you want that description to go with the link, you need to click on this button here, otherwise it won't appear. Let's now click on Save and Return, and we should see now that we've got, in our course, we've got our video. In topic 2, we've got our chat room after you've watched the video, the chat that you're meant to do, and then this Google Doc. Now I want to talk a little bit about this Google Doc and try to explain to you why specifically I'm using the Google Doc. The students will be able to click on that Google Doc and it's going to open up, and then there's a part where all of the students can write their content. Okay, so they're all going to be writing into one document. Now, one of the things, 3 years of now delivering flipped classroom courses, one thing I notice about teachers is they often struggle between what they're going to get the students to do at home and what you're going to get them to do in the classroom. So one of the nice things about this doc is that the students obviously are going to watch the video at home, complete the document. So you're going to have this document with all their answers, and then you can then use that for a discussion or for an activity in the class when you do the higher order thinking skills. So what you're trying to do is link the 2 parts together. So this is really important. It's one of the reasons why I like working with Google Docs, because it can be a focal point for the activities that you're going to do in the classroom. Now we're going to move on and actually see then what would happen if you were a student and you clicked on this Google Doc and you added to the content. So I'm now going to kind of log in. I'm on my course. I come down here. I've watched the video. I've done the first chat. Now I want to do the second activity. I click on it. It's going to open up a document. I can edit that document. And let's imagine that I'm Tom. So I'm going to write my content, my answer in here. Now other students are going to come on, and they're going to write their answers in here, and Peter's going to write his answer in here, etc. And slowly we're going to build up a document that deals with that particular question. Now what the teacher can do the next morning or just before the lesson is come over and go to share and change that to can only view, and that means no one else now can make a contribution to the document, because you might say, right, okay, that's it, they've all done their work, or they should have done their work, and I now want to use this document in the class. What I'm trying to emphasize here is that this would be something that the students would do at home. They would watch the video, then contribute to the document. You would collect all their answers together in one place, and then you could use that actually in your lesson. That connection between what the students do at home, what the students do in class, is really important. Now, you don't have to just do that with Google Docs. Of course, you could use it with technologies that are inside of Moodle. The forum also works for this sort of thing, but it sometimes is a really nice way to work, and something that I've often done when working with the flipped classroom. Really hope that video was useful to you. Please come to teachertrainingvideos.com. Lots of new videos up on the channel. There's a special section on Moodle if you want to learn more about Moodle. And if you want to learn more about my flipped classroom courses, then you can also click here and find out when the next course is running. If you want to follow my work and keep up with my work, the best thing to do is to sign up to the newsletter. That way you'll be updated on the webinars, the online courses, the new videos, the blog posts I write, perhaps even where I'm presenting, as I present in lots of different places around the world. If you want to get all the backdated content that I've created, then the best thing to do is to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and don't forget to click on the bell. That way you get updated when I put new videos onto YouTube. And if you were looking for me to do a presentation for you or a workshop for your institution, then please, you can contact me from the website. And also, perhaps if you're looking for one-to-one training online, I have a virtual classroom, which is absolutely fantastic, and I use it for one-to-one or one-to-many. If you want me to do training with a group of teachers, I can also do that. Thank you very much.